How many years did you work for the UNIDO?
30.
30 years. How many countries?
80, 90, I don't
80,
remember.
90?
Yeah.
Are there any countries you haven't been to?
I'm sure there are, yes.
Okay, good. We'll get into some of the details of the UNIDO because it's an exciting and interesting organization. Interesting because it's worked in a number of different dynamic projects. It maybe has also a little bit of a different way of measuring success than classical projects in the for-profit sector do. But before we get to that, let's talk a little bit about Mithat Külür himself. What's your background? Where are you from?
I'm Turkish.
Okay.
I grew up in the States. Lived most of my life in Europe. Spent a lot of time in countries working for the UN. So basically, I'm international.
Yeah.
But I was born in Turkey.
Let's start off with Turkey. You have an interesting background in Turkey. Tell us a little bit about your family and what kind of led you onto an international path.
Well,
because it actually started off very, very Turkish-centric, actually, originally, right? If you go back.
Well, my grandfathers were both in the military. They fought in all the wars from the late 19th century till they died in the 1930s.
So they were I guess they were compatriots of the famous George Washington of Turkey, Atatürk himself.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. One of my grandfathers was actually in the Ottoman army. And during the War of Independence, he defected to the Kemalist side and fought on that side.
Is there a plaque somewhere for him?
In my heart.
Yeah, very good answer. Good. So that's an interesting start. It goes on with your father.
Yeah, I mean, my parents were like the first generation of the new republic. Mm-hmm. And so they saw themselves as like the backbone of the new republic.
And as Kemalists, also as modernists, as people
Exactly.
open to the West.
Secular, urban, educated. I mean, like my father was 5 siblings. Mm-hmm. His mother...
And they all became doctors, engineers, economists.
Yes. His mother was a widow, a single mother, and all 5 kids are university educated.
Yeah.
And for that generation, in a country like that, that's pretty rare. And my father was actually first in the military, and then he won a military scholarship to go to the States. He was one of 12 people that won this huge exam. And what's interesting is this was during World War II. So they took these 12 people, they gave them a whole lot of money and said, go to the US, get a master's degree in engineering and come back. That's it. That was their instruction.
It was kind of like a precursor to what the UNIDO does on a personal level instead of on a national level.
That was their instruction. Yeah. So and they couldn't even, they couldn't get on a plane and go to the States. They can't even go through Europe. So they went to Egypt, went through Northern Africa, talked their way into a boat, a US military boat, a convoy, crossing the Atlantic in the middle of the war with German U-boats shooting boats down, and that's how they got to the U.S. to study.
Okay.
So when we complained about long bus rides to college, that was and then all 12 of them, none of them said, "Hey, we're in America with a whole lot of money. Let's do something with it." No, they all studied. They all got their degrees, and they all went back.
Well, the classical Turkish patriotism, I think, or something.
The classical any patriotism, I guess.
Yeah.
And so he got back, and he worked for some state companies. And then he went for an MBA in the States again. And that was my first time in the States.
Okay. Were you already born then? Were you born in the States or in Turkey?
No, I was born in Turkey. Okay. I went there first time when I was 8 or 9.
Okay.
Pittsburgh.
Yeah. Steeler.
Yeah. And he did his MBA there. We went back, and a couple of years later, he was headhunted by the UN.
Okay.
And
did he go back to Turkey and then got headhunted by the UN? Okay.
Yes.
In his function as an engineer, no.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.